Welcome back to Friends with Benefits Car Club, the only car news show where the engines are loud, the sarcasm is louder, and the EVs are still trying to figure out how to sound cool. Before we dive in, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, because nothing says I care about my friends like sending them a weekly dose of car chaos wrapped in jokes and existential dread. And for those of you who aren't going to stick around for the entire video, first of all, how dare you? But second, here's a quick summary so you can go brag to your friends about the awesome info you just learned and pretend you actually watch car news on YouTube. This week, buckle up. We've got Rivian and Volkswagen forming a billion-dollar bromance. Tesla's Q2 numbers looking like they just woke up from a nap. And Mercedes asking, why won't anyone love our weirdly shaped EQS? Spoiler, it's the design, guys. It's always the design. Oh, and Dodge's Charger Daytona EV got recalled because it wasn't loud enough. Yes, in an age where silence is golden, Dodge went more fake vroom, please. Meanwhile, Corvette prices are rising like crypto in 2021, but with none of the regrets yet. Stellantis has a new boss in North America who says he wants to bring back the thrill. We hope that's not code for just more Jeep trims. And finally, a new IIHS study shows mental health challenges are on the rise, right along with DUI deaths. Nothing says the American dream like crushing anxiety and questionable driving decisions. Let's get into it before someone recalls us for being too quiet. Here's a combo you didn't want on your 2025 bingo card. Rising mental health struggles and an increase in DUI deaths. According to a new IIHS study, more Americans are driving under the influence. And it's not just booze this time. We're talking the whole alphabet soup. Alcohol, weed, prescription meds, and some chemical cocktails that sound like they were brewed up in a GTA nightclub. The study highlights that untreated mental health issues, stress, and substance abuse are creating a perfect storm on American roads. Translation: more people are self-medicating, then getting behind the wheel like it's the fast and the anxious. You'd think with all the driver assist tech and semi-autonomous features on today's cars, things would be safer. But nope, because all the lane keeping in the world doesn't mean squat if the person behind the wheel is mentally checked out or chemically on another planet. This is your friendly reminder that cars are not therapy. If you're going through it, talk to someone. Don't just go on a late night drive with 1.5 bottles of Merlot and your playlist of regrets. And while the car industry is busy debating over whether your EV should have ambient lighting or a fake exhaust note, maybe we also need to focus on how driving is often the last escape route for people trying to outrun their feelings. Heavy stuff. So let's shift gears before this turns into a therapy session. So while people are literally driving through it, Stellantis is making moves to drive through it with more thrill. They've appointed a new North American CEO, Carlos Zarlenga, who apparently wants to bring excitement back to driving, which is cute considering they just shoved the V8 into early retirement and are now delivering electric Dodges that get recalled for being too quiet. More on that in a bit. The new guy, Carlos Zarlenga, is an outsider to the US auto scene. Previously, he worked in South America and Europe, where thrill often means a 1.2-liter engine that survives potholes and questionable gas. So forgive us if we're a little skeptical about what thrill means now. Adaptive cruise with attitude, a new Jeep trimmed with red stitching, which sounds great, until you realize this is the same Stellantis that's been stuffing SUVs into every Jeep dealership like they're Costco rotisserie chickens. Thrill? Sure, but are we talking launch control in a Hellcat? Thrill? Or new trim package with mood lighting? Thrill. Zarlenga isn't new to leadership, but he is new to North American car culture. His profile includes leading GM's operations in Latin America and working in the European markets. Not bad, but we're hoping he understands that in the US, thrill means make it loud, fast, and probably impractical. To be fair, the bar is pretty low. Just don't mess with the SRT heritage or Dodge fans will riot. With eco-friendly pitchforks, of course. We'll stay optimistic because we love to see Stellantis bring the heat back. Just please, no more stealth luxury rebadged Peugeots with a trail-rated badge. Speaking of rebounding from rough performance, Tesla just dropped their Q2 2025 earnings report, and let's just say the vibes are as flat as a Model S Plaid with no charge. Sales missed expectations, deliveries were meh, and Wall Street did the financial equivalent of the shrug emoji. What's the excuse this time? Market headwinds, sluggish demand, or maybe just the realization that you can't build a long-term empire on memes and full self-driving promises that still require actual driving. Cybertruck hype is cooling, Model 3 updates didn't exactly light the world world on fire, and more people are starting to notice that competitors have caught up and, in some cases, surpassed Tesla in luxury, performance, and basic customer service. Oh, and Rivian just pulled a reverse on them with a new partner, which leads us to Rivian just secured another $1 billion from Volkswagen, part of their $5.8 billion partnership. Why now? Because Rivian hit a milestone in their deal, just in time to soften the blow of a very bad quarter. Q2 deliveries dropped 23% year over year, with only 10,661 vehicles sold. Rivian blamed the changeover to 2026 models at their Illinois plant, but the truth is, demand's slipping. The R1S and R1T are great, but at luxury prices, they're not exactly flying off the lot. To make matters worse, Rivian lowered its 2025 delivery forecast to as low as 40,000 units, citing, you guessed it, Trump-era tariffs, making production even harder. So, what's the plan? The upcoming $45,000 R2 crossover. It's supposed to be their mass market hero by 2026, and VW's cash is helping them ramp up production for that, and the smaller R3 that'll follow. For VW, this deal is about Rivian's tech, the software brain behind its vehicles. VW struggled with EV software for years, so now they're just borrowing Rivian's homework. Fair enough. If this works, we get affordable, tech-savvy EVs. If it doesn't, well, at least we got another billion-dollar plot twist. Imagine spending billions to build your electric flagship, the future of your brand, and then finding out no one wants to be seen in it. That's basically Mercedes-Benz with the EQS right now. Sales of the EQS are circling the drain faster than your enthusiasm for an overcooked $180 Uber Black Ride. And while Mercedes wants to point fingers at market conditions, dealership bottlenecks, or Elon's Twitter feed, the truth is, people just don't like the way it looks. Let's be real. The EQS looks like someone asked ChatGPT to design a luxury car in the style of a soap bar. It's aerodynamic, yes, but it's also got the emotional appeal of an electric jelly bean. No angles, no menace, no drama. Just a teardrop on four wheels that screams aerodynamic efficiency and whispers midlife crisis. Interior-wise, it's impressive. Giant hyperscreen? Check. Mood lighting worthy of a spaceship? Double check. But again, nobody's arguing that the EQS feels cheap. It just looks like it was designed by a committee of wind tunnel engineers who've never seen a human before. Even worse, for all its sci-fi wizardry, it still doesn't feel like an S-Class successor. The S-Class was always about status. The EQS, it's about looking like you're in a hurry to pick up your kombucha subscription. Mercedes now has a choice. Double down on weird design choices or go back to making EVs that actually look desirable. Because in the EV market, it's not just about range and charging anymore. It's about rolling up in something that makes people look twice, not look away. Remember when the C8 Corvette launched and it was hailed as the affordable supercar? Well, Chevy just hit the delete key on that tagline because 2026 pricing is looking like it was set by a Ferrari intern on a Red Bull bender. Base prices going up. Z06 way up. Dealer markups still alive and well, sucking the soul out of your dream build sheet. You used to be able to spec a Corvette with enough performance to embarrass a Lamborghini and still have cash left over for groceries, or at least premium gas. Now, you might have to pick between the Z06 or your kid's college tuition. Guess who's not going to Yale? Sorry, Kyle. To be fair, the C8 still delivers monster performance. The mid-engine layout, insane grip, exotic engine sounds, it's the real deal. But Chevy's slowly nudging the Vette into a new price bracket, and it's getting dangerously close to Porsche 911 and even used McLaren territory. Which begs the question, if you're spending $120,000, are you still buying the Corvette because it's value, or just because it's American? Also, for a car that's inching into luxury pricing waters, the interior still reminds you it's a Chevy the moment you tap a plastic button too hard. If GM's raising prices, maybe they should throw in a little Italian leather or some hand-stitched dignity. The C8 Corvette is still phenomenal, but it's starting to feel less like the people's supercar and more like a supercar for people who used to buy Corvettes before they got priced out by rich dentists. Which brings us to a car that does squeak, but on purpose. Yes, this is real. Dodge's all-electric Charger Daytona is being recalled, not for battery fires or range issues or questionable panel gaps, but because it wasn't loud enough. The car was designed to have a fake exhaust system, called the Fretsonic chambered exhaust, which honestly sounds like something out of a Marvel movie, and it was meant to growl and rumble like a Hellcat with a grudge. But apparently, the noise wasn't loud enough at low speeds to meet federal pedestrian safety standards. So now Dodge has to issue a recall to turn the volume up on the fake engine noise. Yes, we are literally patching our car's growl via a software update. This is where we are now. Cars are silent by default, so brands are inventing fake noises, and now the government is telling them to crank it. This is peak 2025 still. If anyone was gonna make a speaker-powered muscle car that sounded like Godzilla chewing steel wool, it was always gonna be Dodge. And that's the week in car news, where Tesla underperformed, Dodge turned up the fake volume, and Mercedes is still wondering why nobody wants to drive their electric Sea Cucumber. If you made it this far, congrats. You now know more about the automotive industry than most dealership salespeople. You're welcome. Smash that like button like you just saw the new Corvette 06 price tag, subscribe so you don't miss any future chaos, and drop a comment. Which story had you questioning reality more? Volkswagen sliding into Rivian's DMs, or Dodge recalling an EV for not screaming loud enough? This is Friends with Benefits Car Club, where the news is fast, the takes are spicy, and the sarcasm is always in Sport Plus mode. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button. If you didn't, hit the dislike button. We can take it. Leave your thoughts in the comments. Which story shocked you the most? And if you want to catch up on previous episodes, I'll leave them up on the screen for you. Seriously, thank you for watching to the end. It means the world to us. Whether you're here for the laughs, the news, or just to hang out, you're part of the Friends with Benefits family. As always, thanks for joining us on this ride. Until next time, keep dreaming, keep driving, and remember, if the car you're driving doesn't make you feel like a superhero, you're driving the wrong one. Friends with Benefits, driving off.